Hello, I'm Enyce Smith, and today on Beyond the Runway, we have my good friend Ryku Bella Revlon in the building, and he's going to be talking about everything from losing his mother, coming to LA, getting into the ballroom scene, and also pursuing his dance career. So you don't want to go nowhere. It's going to be a cute interview. This is Beyond the Runway. Hello and welcome to Beyond the Runway. I'm your host, Enyce Smith, and today we have a good friend in the building, Mr. Ryku Bella Revlon.
Hey.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Now that you're here, I'm good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want to just talk to you a little bit about the scene. You know, I want to get your opinion on a lot of things, so let's get right into it. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Fort Washington, Maryland, which is right outside of D.C. I went to college in Baltimore, Maryland. So for like the last 7 years before I came to LA, I was in Baltimore.
Okay, yeah, I heard it was a little cold out there. Like
I know, right? It's always cold.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I understand that you're in the profession of dancing, and I want to know how you got into that. Like, did you start studying out there, or what happened with that?
With that, I started dancing when I was 17 in junior. I was a junior in high school. One of my friends asked me to join the dance team, and I was originally a part of the choir, so I did a lot of singing, and I never thought about dance. So I was just like, oh, this might be interesting, another outlet for my artistic expression.
Okay.
So I went and tried out, and I ended up joining the dance team, and then I realized that I love dancing more than I love singing. I like singing, but I love dancing.
Right.
So I was just like, you know, I should do this as a profession, and my mother backed me up 100%. I wanted to go to college for it. So I ended up applying to Towson University for the dance program, and I had an audition, and I ended up getting accepted, and I ended up getting a scholarship for it.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, it's like a win-win. So I ended up going to school for it in Baltimore, Maryland.
So it's like weird because you're saying that you started to dance at 17 years old. So you was not born like wanting to dance, like, because I'm a dancer and I felt like I was born to dance. So you found your love for dancing when you were 17 years old?
Yes, and that's when I got professional training with ballet, modern, actually the technique of dancing. I always did like, I used to watch Aaliyah, you know, Janet Jackson videos, you know, like, and I would like have it on VHS. I would record it off of like the box, you know.
Oh my gosh,
right, the box.
Oh my gosh.
Right, I would record it and like Missy Elliott and all those dances, and like I would record it and watch it and learn the choreography and know the choreography like to the T. But like it was until 17 when I started doing jazz, ballet, modern, technique, tap, all those things. And it wasn't until that point where I was like, this is what I want to do with my career.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So basically I want to know, how did you find the ballroom scene? How did you discover voguing? What happened with that?
It was my senior year in high school. I was at a house party, and this is my first time being outside of going to church, and you know, my mom always being there. It was just like I was on my own pretty much, and then going to a house party, there was people drinking, and there was people voguing. So I didn't know what it was, but
they looked crazy, huh?
They kept hitting the floor and getting back up. I was like, "This is cool."
Hurt?
I was like, "Does it hurt?"
Right.
And then I just noticed how it looked like it was so much fun and interesting. It looked so animated, and the expressions, and then the battles, and like you could really feel the tension, you know, like, and it was just so interesting. I was just like, I want to learn how to do that, and me like learning how to dance. That was one of the art forms that I first learned how to do. On top of the ballet, the modern, and the jazz, I was learning how to vogue at the same time, pretty much at the same time that I started with the technique. So I was just like, okay, I have to learn how to vogue.
Okay, so you had all of that going on. You had the dancing going on. You had the school going on. I understand that you have an older brother, right, or a younger brother?
Older.
You had an older brother, and you also had your mom.
Yes.
And it was just you, your mom, and your brother, right?
Yes.
So I understand that your mom had passed away. How long ago was that?
That was when I was 18. I'm 27 now, so almost 10 years ago.
Almost 10 years ago. Can you please tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah,
tell
sure.
me how she passed away.
It was so I moved into college on Friday, and she helped me move in. She put like all my stuff away. She like helped me make up my bed and stuff like that. And that was like the last time I saw her because she ended up going on a trip somewhere. And my brother was with her, and she ended up having an asthma attack on, I think it was like Monday, which was my first day of school. So I started school on Monday. I moved in on Friday, and I didn't see her all through the weekend. And I talked to her on Sunday night, and I was like, okay, you know, she called me about something. Like, she was really mad at me because I left my room a mess, you know, like I was just like packing stuff, you know, like being a kid. And she was like, she pretty much cussed me out. But the last thing I remember my mother saying was, I love you, and you were doing such a big thing because you're the first one to actually go from high school straight into college.
Right.
So my mother was really proud of me, and that's what she said. I'm really proud of you, and I love you. And then the next morning, I'm in my first class at college, and my phone kept ringing. And essentially I was like, why is my mother calling me at 8 o'clock in the morning? You know, and I, you know, of course ignored it. And then when I got out of class, I called back, and it was my brother. And I was like, what's up? What's going on? And all he said was, Mom's gone. I was like, what do you mean she's gone? Where did she go?
Right,
go find her. I was like, she's around here somewhere. No, he was like, no, you don't understand. She's gone. She's not here no more. And I was just like, are you serious? And like, I started crying. I started breaking, like I was like in the middle of the quad, like where everybody kind of, you know, walks back and forth to their own different classes. And I just started breaking down crying, and nobody knew what was wrong with me. And I was just like, my mom just passed, and they had to have campus security come and escort me to my room and stuff like that because I didn't handle it very well, you know. Right, and I was in this public place, and they thought I was just crazy. I was losing it. And I was just like, I can't believe it, because I just talked to her on the phone the night before and everything was cool. She was telling me how proud she was that I was actually in school, like right on time, like right out of high school, and you know, she was cussing me out. I look at it now like a funny thing because I miss those moments where she was cussing me out. She was there to like discipline me and stuff like that. I missed like the fact that when I turned 21, I couldn't go out with my mom and like have a drink in front of her or be drunk in front of my mom. You know, I never had that experience, but that's pretty much how she passed.
Right, and you know, it was the beautiful thing about it is that she told you that she loved you and she's proud of you. So I know that made you keep on going and going and going and stuff. And now I understand your drive. Like, you get what I'm saying? But that's a beautiful thing. And like, you know, I'm sorry that happened. You know, like my mom, she's alive to this day, but I really don't have my mom in my life because my mom is on drugs. Like, you know, my mom just don't call me like a week ago. I haven't talked to her 6 months, you know. And, you know, regardless of the fact that my mom is on drugs and stuff, I still love my mom because that's my mom and I love her. And I know people like you know, that lost your mom. You know, I have other friends that lost their mom. I know how it feels not to have them there. So regardless of the fact, I tell my mom I love her. Pure point blank. So it's people like y'all that still make me just look at my mom like, that's my mom. I don't care if she had 4 legs, it's still my mom. Okay? Right. So with that being said, let's move on. So then after that happened, you end up moving to LA?
No, not quite. I was in school for the next 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and during that time, that was when the whole ballroom scene came about.
Oh.
Yeah, so like with that, my mom was like a big influence in my life. So when she died, I didn't take it well. I started to hang out with the wrong crowd, you know, and then like I found the ballroom scene. I was in the ballroom scene. I started going out for Virgin Vogue and stuff like that. And I wasn't hanging out with the right people in the ballroom scene. I was hanging out with people that like to do drugs and things like that. And I was voguing and like getting my life. I was going to Richmond, I was going to DC, I was going to Philadelphia, New York, you know, voguing, but I wasn't really content with that. And you know, I started missing classes. That's why I was in college for so long. I was in college for 6 years because I started failing classes because I weren't there.
Right, but but I understand. Didn't you get like a lump sum of money left for you or something like that?
I did.
So you was living it up.
I was living it up because my mom left me the house, so I had to end up selling my house, and I moved to Baltimore. So that's when I actually lived in Baltimore. So this is maybe like 6 months after she passed away, I ended up selling the house.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I had like a cute coin from that.
A cute little coin.
Yeah.
Want to disclose how much it is?
No,
Okay,
girl. It was a cute coin.
I'm just saying, you was living it up. It's so funny because, like you said, like, you've been in the ballroom scene. And we was at the same ball.
Yes, we were. I think it was more than one ball.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I came to D.C. Well, D.C., I came out there a couple of times and stuff. And,
you went to Balenciaga ball?
I
was there.
That's crazy.
And then the DC Awards ball.
I was there.
Right, and we walked the same category. That's how small the scene is.
If we get the DVD, we probably actually would see each other on there.
Right.
It's crazy. If I would have got through, I would have slayed you, girl. I would have slayed you, honey.
Actually.
Okay. In your city.
in my city.
Okay, so tell me a little bit.
Happen.
So tell me, how did you get to LA? How did you end up coming here? And what was that ordeal?
So during my program in Towson, at Towson University, I was dancing. I was doing all the things like doing ballet and modern. I was getting it very intensively. And I was working with a company called Full Circle Dance Company that's out of Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And we would travel and we would do different shows at different venues. And it was ballet and modern and contemporary. And I was just like, I got a really good grasp of it and I liked it and it was like my driving force. But I was just like, I want to do something else. I want to do some more commercial work. I want to do the videos. I want to dance behind the artists. I want to do a cruise ship. That kind of thing. And everything books out of Los Angeles. So I was just like, I need to get to Los Angeles because either that I was going to go to New York. I was going to get out of Baltimore. Either one. It was okay because I couldn't have it because Baltimore for me felt like a black hole. Like it was like nothing really going on there. The people there were all miserable and sad, and I was just like, I have to get out of here. So that's exactly what I did. I literally
picked up and went.
Pick up and left, and I came out here.
Right. So you came out here. You was at a mini ball, and this is when I first saw you. Mm-hmm. It was at the mini ball. It was the mini ball on 111th and Main.
Yes, it was.
Boom, boom, boom. I don't want to say her name because she doesn't deserve to have her name said on my show. I'm sorry, but that person, I called her out. And you came out, and she was a Chanel at the time. And I was like, and I was like, I stopped the music. I was like, who are you? You said, I'm Ryku Bella. You said, I'm Ryku Revlon. And I think that's when I first saw you. So I want to know, how did you feel about being a part of the ballroom scene in LA? Because you became a part of it, and you started walking and everything. And eventually we ended up getting close. But how do you feel about LA as a whole, as far as the ballroom scene go?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I think that you have a lot of great talent in Los Angeles, but the fighting and the violence in the ballroom scene here, where you're not completing balls, you're not getting to my category, which is one of the hottest categories in the ballroom scene, and I'm like, you can't complete a whole entire function without finding something to fight off of, or something. Somebody did something to you, and then you wait until the ball to get them, and that's what I don't ever understand, and that's it kind of makes me not want to come out anymore.
You know what? It's so crazy because we was at your apartment in North Hollywood, and I was showing you. Was that you? I think I was showing you all the old clips. I think of Toy and all of them.
You were.
You was like, why the ballroom scene like that no more?
Yeah, it was so much. It was live, and people were having fun. People were smiling. It was just. Everybody was engaged. It was no animosity in the room, like that. You didn't have to keep pausing categories to get security to come up on the runway to break people up. It was just it was a whole lot of fun.
Back in the day, when I tell you, Ryku, back in the day, we used to have the Boom Boom Room, okay? Mm-hmm. Ebony Lane used to throw mini balls every week. Come to my mini ball, baby. Come to my mini ball, baby. We used to go to this club called The Study.
Oh, yes.
No matter what. Yeah, we used to fight back in the day, but we didn't fight at the balls. We fought on the streets, okay?
Right.
We meet up, okay? But the thing about it is that after the study, regardless of the fact if you have beef, it's like, bitch, I'm going to slay you. Let's go to the boom room. And everybody would go and they would battle. And nowadays, all the people I started off with, they're not here anymore. They I don't want nothing to do with it. And I feel like with you, you're starting to back off. Yeah. And you know, and is that one of the reasons why you trying to back off, because of the violence, or what? Because you're a nonviolent person.
Yeah.
You know, you even get on me about that. So is that one of the reasons why you backing off, or what is it?
The reasons why I'm backing off is, one is I'm really focused on my career.
Yes.
I'm focused on dancing, and that's taking up a lot of my time. And then with the balls, like nowadays, they don't even get to my category. So I'm like, why? And especially with traveling, like even going to Oakland, like I'm never going to go to Oakland because I have not had a successful ball in a long time. You know, since I've been out in Los Angeles, let me say that. It's like, why would I get an effect, get money to travel, you know, get a hotel room and all these things to go to a ball that doesn't even get to my category because somebody's fighting and the function gets shut down. So I'm just like, that's just a waste of time and energy. And that's just at the point that I am at, is it's like, even with the ball in Las Vegas, I was like, I'm not going to the ball in Las Vegas because I'm pretty sure they're going to start fighting or something like that. But it was a successful ball, which I'm like, okay, so that's one.
Maybe I'll go next year.
Right.
Do you think the leaders, do you think the fighting and the arguing and bickering got a lot to do with the older leaders, or do you think it's the new generation of leaders?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I see that's also, I don't know the history with a lot of the leaders that are the older leaders that are out here.
But you looking on the outside looking in, do you think it's the older or the new? Because personally, I think it's the older.
I feel like it's the older influencing the new generation, and the new generation just, you know, like pretty much, you know, you have like the house mother and father, and they're like saying all these things about this such and such person, and then the new generation going back and being like, you know, keeping that like that animosity going without actually knowing the full story or knowing both halves of the story or anything like that. That's what happens a lot of times, and then you just have the kids just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna go fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough of the ballroom scene. I want to talk a little bit about more of your dance career. Okay, I understand that you did some things at Magic Mountains.
Yeah.
What was that? I know you was doing like some type of show.
Yeah, I was in a magic show, and also was one of the Full Throttle dancers at Six Flags Magic Mountain. That was last summer, between like May and November. I did Fright Fest and all that stuff. It was pretty much fun. It was like a lot of experience. I met a lot of great friends from that. Yeah. Okay.
So you was doing all of that stuff. I know also another thing that you do a lot of outreach. I know you done a couple of things for Reach LA. You talked to a couple of kids about, you know, certain things. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, Greg Wilson is the person that really pulled me into outreach. He like got me to volunteer. He got me to, you know, go out and talk to kids about the effects of HIV, AIDS, and STDs and being protected. And then from there, I'm still learning how to like speak to every single it's like different types of audiences. So you need to, you know, censor certain things. So I'm still learning that. But he's really was the driving force behind that, because I see how passionate he is about it. It made me passionate about it, and going out talking to them. And then with the whole ballroom scene and voguing, with the outreach and having those combined, and then going out and speaking on both halves.
Do you think it's any hope for us to slow down the use of having sex without any condoms? Do you think, without condoms, do you think it's any way we can like better that? Like,
well, I think that there are certain ways to implement that. But I think you also have to get rid of the fantasy that having unprotected sex is sexy. It needs to be the other way around. Having protected sex is sexier, you know, because you have like all these like the raw thugs and stuff like that that's online on Raw Strokes. Breed it raw. See, like the kids get excited for those things. And you know, it's good to watch because I watch them. You know, my Vidster and stuff like that. But you know, like we have to get to the point where like even in the porn that we watch, there needs to be protection, because that's like actually perpetuating the whole thing of, you know, wanting to have raw sex.
Right. Okay. Well, Mr. Ryku, that's all I have for you today.
Well, thank you, Nietzsche.
And thank you for coming on my show. You know, I just wanted to chit-chat with you, you know, get your opinion on some things, because I know that you are a very smart young man. And, you know, I see you at the back of the runway, honey.
Always.
Anyway, thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you, boo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I'm Enyce Smith, and this is Beyond the Runway. And remember, everything goes beyond the runway.